Hey guys, hey, I trust that you're well. So in 2024, I read a good 39 books, and I want to quickly just go through the books that I read. Some, just a few of them are with friends, so I'm going to go through the ones I have, which is most of them. We just show you what I read in 2024 of the 39 books I read. I know this video should have been uploaded kitambo, but anyway, yeah. So no particular order. The 39 books I did in 2024, and we are going to start with the first lot, which is quickly to just show you. I don't read one genre. I am a person who reads different genres. So yeah, you're going to see the first book. Like, this is the first book I picked in January of 2024 was The Amazing Finding Me by the amazing Viola Davis. I mean, this book feels like when you're reading it, ni kama unasikiza Viola. I mean, if you've watched her movies, it's like you're listening to her and her voice and her vocals. This is an amazing book. Finding Me by the amazing Viola Davis. This was the first book I read. After this one, sorry, I wanted to read I really wanted to read Trevor Noah. This book it's funny. I laughed a lot out loud when I was reading Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. It's a memoir. It's actually a memoir. It's a beautiful book. And I know there's one part that stuck with me. There's one part that stuck with me of this book, and it was talking about sometimes when you go out of a place and it feels like you're just being pulled back to where you came from. I mean, just go. I don't want to preempt. As I go through the books, I don't want to preempt them. Just go and read for yourself. It's a beautiful memoir. So this was my second book after Finding Me by Viola Davis. After that, the most talked about book is Nearly All Men in Lagos Are Mad. I mean, they are. If you read this book, you will know what I mean. Nearly All Men. Actually, it should be All Men in Lagos Are Mad, because this book it has a lot of drama and a lot of just go and read it for yourself. I don't want to preempt again. So this was my third book. This is another book I read is Will by the incredible Will Smith. This is a memoir. And it gives us how his life was growing up, his family, like what shaped him, fame, and all that. Will by Will Smith, I am a person who reads memoirs a lot, so this was a beautiful memoir. And it's funny that I didn't know that much about Will Smith until I read this book, and I now went to the internet and I'm like, oh wow, wait, I'm yet to read his wife's book, Jada. Inaitangwa Worthy by Jada. I'm yet to read the memoir by Jada, but I'm going to pick it this year. This is Will Smith. I went ahead and read this. I mean, if you've been here long enough, you know that I love Brianna West. I am a Brianna West fan. I love Brianna West. I read her art a lot. So this is How You Heal by Brianna West. It's a beautiful book. I don't want to preempt. Go pick it, or just pick any Brianna West book. Again, just like The Mountain Is You. My favorite book of 2023 is this one. So go ahead and read this. This is How You Heal. After Brianna is this book. This was the first time I was reading. I've always had the hype about African author, and honestly speaking, as in, like, from me, I'd never read a African authored book, but the hype and everything just read me here, and I just didn't pick the book because of any particular reason. I just picked it and I loved it. I mean, it felt, I was telling somebody, reading this book felt like my younger life, like growing up in the village. How was it? The experiences. It's a beautiful book. I mean, pick it for yourself and just read it. If you want to get into African authored books, this is another one I'd recommend. Again, you are not in this Nairobi if you've not heard about these books. I wanted to read them this year, so I picked Confessions of Nairobi Men 1. Let me tell you guys, this city that we live in has so much going on, and you don't know it until you pick some of these books and you're like, wow, it teaches you kindness, it teaches you empathy, it teaches you to just be kind to people. Confessions of Nairobi Men, by now I know you've already had the hype. If you haven't, pick either this one. I also read the women ones. They're somewhere I'm going to show you. Again, African authored identity, women and identity and our bodies and how we view ourselves. I mean, we're black women, and sometimes when you read these books, it just helps you see redefine womanhood. It helps you redefine yeah, I mean, just womanhood, basically. The Sex Lives of African Women. It's an amazing African book for women and identity and all that. So that is lot one. Then we went on to, let me tell you guys, it is one thing to interact with doctors and watch movies about medicine, and like me who have friends who are in medicine, and it's one thing to see a doctor spend, like, this book is a memoir of Paul, and he dies at the end. I'm sorry, I'm preempting. I wasn't supposed to preempt. It's of this physician. He spends his life like dedicated to medicine and everything. Then he dies. Like, he's just saying, I am a stranger to my body, and he's gotten sick. And this book made me, I was in my emotions reading this book, and up to date I'm actually looking for medical books. Then I picked the books that will have you go crazy. These two psychological thrillers. Let me tell you, hizi vitabu mbili, I don't even know what to say. Verity by, of course, the amazing Colleen Hoover. I've read a lot of Colleen Hoover. Her writing is beautiful. Her way of expressing ideas. She's an amazing author. I hope where she is, she knows that. And we as the audience, I hope we appreciate her work enough, because, oh my goodness, she's an amazing author. Psychological thriller. I think I did this book in a day, because you just want to be like, okay, then what happens? Then after that, what do they find out? I don't want to preempt, but Verity, The Silent Patient, another one that will have you be like, okay, then what happens? Then the plot twist. You can't go wrong with her. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Brianna. If you know anybody who reads Brianna, ask them. They will come and tell me. I read this book, The Absent Father Effect on Daughters. I thought maybe I'm going to diagnose myself through this book, or I'm going to find something that's going to be like, oh my god, that's it. But there was nothing like that. I mean, it's just, I love psychology. I read psychology. I consume a lot of psychology, and I thought maybe there is something I'm going to pick about psychology here, but there wasn't. I mean, it just didn't talk to me the way I had set my expectations, unfortunately. But I don't know what to say. I don't know whether it's a book I'd recommend. I don't even know what to say, maybe. I don't know whether it's a book I'd recommend or something. Again, poetry. This book was gifted to me by the person where I go and buy my books, where I get my books. He gave me this one. I was like, do you have books? And he was like, I'm going to look for it and I'm going to gift you. He gave me this one, Learning to Love Yourself. I mean, you're home, you belong to yourself, you're yours before you belong to anything or anyone. And I mean, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself, how you embrace yourself, how you live with yourself is, yeah. So this one it's a beautiful book. It's just seeing yourself through kind of eyes, forgiving yourself. I mean, just giving yourself. If you cannot, it has to be inside out. It has to be inside out. If you're not at peace inside, you don't like yourself, you can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, that's what it is. Learning to Love Myself. It's a beautiful book. Again, like, it's more of poetry. Ugly Love. I don't even need to say anything about this one. Colleen Hoover. I mean, if you know Colleen Hoover, you know she's going to do what she said she's going to do. Colleen Hoover. 7 days. Let me tell you, today I was reading this book, and it has me thinking. Sometimes you read books and you're like, wow. It has you thinking you will find that type of love. The love in these books, got like, what? Expectations uko juu. Like 7 days in June. I mean, Things of the Heart. November 9 again. Do I have to say anything about Colleen Hoover? If you know, you know. Do I have to say anything about Colleen Hoover? If you know, you know. 100 essays that will change the way you think. Guys, do I have to say anything about Brianna West? Do I have to say anything about Brianna West? If you know, you know. Yeah, like, I am a Brianna West fan. I am a Colleen Hoover fan. So, yes. Okay. This book, you got Anything Stronger. So why I didn't finish this book is because you are supposed to read, we are going to need more wine before. I think it's a sequel. This is a continuation of that. Actually, it's a sequel, and I have not read We Are Going to Need More Wine. So this book, I was so confused, so I stopped. I'm going to read it once I buy We're Going to Need More Wine. I read We're Going to Need More Wine, then I pick this. I didn't finish it. It was just so confusing for me. Women and money. Let me tell you, when you get some free time, please take your financial life serious. So many things. As long as they say money does not buy happiness, like just take your financial life very, very seriously. Life is very cruel to a poor woman. Just take your financial life seriously. Psychology of money. I don't have anything to say about this book. Anything you have heard is true about this book. I don't have anything to say. Again, our very own Kenyan author, Washeke Nduati, the Centonomy. Washeke Nduati. It's making sense. The most practical, easy, digestible thing about money. Again, when you get some free time, just take your financial life seriously. Let me read this book. TikTok had me pick this book, and one thing I will say is I regret reading it. I didn't like it. I just don't like the way society tells women, be like this, don't do like this, don't be so loud, don't, just keep quiet, just wear something. I don't like, TikTok made me pick this book, and honestly, I do not like it. I do not enjoy the way society is like, do this, don't do that, be quiet, if you talk too much, if you ask, I just don't like. Be yourself, be authentic, be you, just have the values that are authentic to who you are. I just picked it because of the hype, and I can say I did not like it, I did not enjoy it. I just don't like the way society has to just tell women, do this, do that, don't do that, be there, be at home by 9. Like, okay, it's not there, but that's out of yeah, but I just didn't like it. I picked it because of the hype of TikTok, because everyone was like, women love bitches, women, let them love whoever they want to be, just be your authentic self. I didn't like that book, honestly. I did not like it. The two tiny little books. I love books that are like this, first of all. So The Alchemist, The Alchemist. When you decide what you want, the world conspires to give it to you. Full stop. Alchemist. The monk who sold his Ferrari, purpose. Like purpose. These two books, picked these two books earlier in the year. I am a huge Malala fan. I am a huge, since the time she was in the news and everything, I have been a huge Malala fan. The things she's been able to do, it's incredible to see a young girl do the things she's been able to do. I love Malala. I enjoy documentaries. I follow her a lot. I just love her. So I picked this book. Fun fact, I read Malala. I love this book. Oopsie. Okay, well. Do I have to say anything about Confessions? I mean, Confessions of Nairobi Women, by now you've had the hype. Confessions of Nairobi Men, Confessions of Nairobi Women. This city here, Nairobi iko na mambo mingi. Nairobi has so much going on. Just be kind. The person sitting next to you in church, the person in the matatu, the person mesimama na stage. Like, this here town of ours has so much going on. Be kind, to say the least. To end the list is the sequel. It ends with us, it starts with us. Let me tell you, books will have you in your feelings, in your emotions. This is now a movie. I think it was last year, last year. This is a sequel. You have to read it ends, then you read it starts. And that is my 39 books of 2024. Happy reading. I intended to read 30 books in 2024, so I ended up reading 39. I mean, my brain is also my brain by now. Yeah, so I wanted to read 30, but I hit the goal and got to 39. Happy reading in 2025. Let's see how many books we can read this year. Happy reading, guys.